Lions, I have to talk about this. People have been asking me about this. My friends have commented to me about this. And that was what Chot Reyes has had to say. Where can I start with this? I've talked about this before. We've talked about Kai Soto. We've talked about Kobe Paras. We've talked about advancing in your career, things you should be thinking about. And I'll just say some of the quotes that there was a press conference to talk about them going to the Worlds. And Chot Reyes was saying that he warned some of the cadets, some of the guys on Batang Gilas, like some of the guys that will be competing next year. He warned them because there's going to be a lot of scouts there. These scouts from NBA scouts, US NCAA scouts, also big clubs in Europe, scouts go to these tournaments to try to find talent. That's where you're going to see top talent, is in these top tournaments, 17 and under. So he warned them. His big statement was we have yet to see a Filipino play abroad and get better. That was the first thing he said. And then the second thing he said along the same lines was, and this was in reference to Kobe Paras, if you go to the States and you sit, you're not going to get better. Now, while he is correct in those statements, there's two things you have to consider. It's one, that's not telling the full story. And two, why is he saying those things? So why would Chot Reyes say that? Why would he make it a point, and why was that a big headline? We have yet to see a Filipino player go to the States and get better. And if you go there and sit, you're not going to get better. I agree with those statements. Those statements are fairly accurate, but they don't tell the full story. And they're also, you have to wonder, Chot Reyes, who he's talking about, for the most part, is Kai Soto. I think there are other good players on the team. I think there are other good players that could get exposure and possibly get noticed. But let's face it, Kai Soto's 7'1". He's a big reason why they qualified, and he's the big time prospect 17 and under in this country. Matter of fact, I'm not sure we've had a prospect like this in quite some time. He's 7'1". He was getting 20-20s in the Asian qualifiers. So we're looking at Kai Soto. Where does Kai Soto play right now? He plays for Ateneo. Who backs Ateneo? The MVP group. Who backs ESPN5? The MVP group. Who backs the Gilas program? The MVP group. So, of course, Chot Reyes, who's also an Atenean, doesn't want Kai Soto going to play somewhere else besides Ateneo. He's already at Ateneo in high school. They want him. He's already with Gilas. So, of course, they want to keep him around. Also, another big reason, if Kai Soto was, I have no problem with anything. I'm just stating why he would make it a point to say these things. Because he wants to keep Kai here, right? Why does he want to keep Kai here? Well, first of all, Kai's going to help your Gilas program win some games. Because, for instance, let's say he was in high school in the States right now. Well, he probably wouldn't have been able to compete in the Asian qualifier in China. And if he doesn't compete in the Asian qualifier in China, then you probably don't get a chance to go to the Worlds. If he does consider going to the United States to play college basketball, he might not be available for some Gilas tournaments during his school year. So that is a concern for anyone that's running the Gilas program. You want him around, you want him available, you want him here in the Philippines so he's available, so he can play in the program. That's nothing wrong with that. But when you take a look at who's running the program, who's backing the program, of course, they want to keep him here. The second part of that is saying that there is yet to be a Filipino player go to the United States and get better. Well, there's only been really two of note, right? There's been Kobe Paras, who went to high school and attempted to went to college technically. And there's been Japeth, who transferred midway through his collegiate career to go to Western Kentucky. So they're 0 for 2. It's a very small sample size. It's not like 100 Filipino basketball players went to the States to try to make it in the United States and they all came back and they all sucked. No. It's been 2. And actually, Japeth, even though, yeah, he didn't play much, but he hasn't turned out horrible. He's doing pretty well. He's had a pretty good PBA career. It's just been 2 guys. So it's not impossible for somebody to go and chase their dreams in the United States and not succeed. As a matter of fact, I take my hat off to guys that think they might have a possibility in the United States and chase their dreams. They dream bigger than maybe just playing in the PBA, because the PBA is always going to be there for these guys. Always going to be there. If you have a chance, you get one shot at this. If you have a chance to maximize your potential and you think you can do that someplace else, why wouldn't you encourage a kid to chase his dreams if he's got a shot? I mean, even though you can say that nobody's went to the States and come back better, you can say that. But like I said, that's not telling the full story. And it's also, there's some self-interest involved there because of who's backing, where he's at, who's backing these kids. And matter of fact, for the other kids, they are in the Gilas program. Of course, you want to have your best players available. I get why you want to keep these guys around. But the headline and the storyline makes it out to sound like, oh, well, the U.S. is just not a place where Filipinos can excel. I think it's for basketball. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't think that that's fair. I think that it's just been 2 guys, and a lot of things go into that. Time, luck, situation, a lot of contributing factors go into whether you're going to be successful or not successful. I just want to clarify that. I still think, hey, the NCAA Division I basketball, you look at the draft, the history of the NBA draft, most of the players come from NCAA Division I basketball, from a big school. Most of the players. And the NBA now is more international than ever. But still, the majority of their players come from where? The US NCAA Division I, big schools, big programs. That's where they come from. And if you really want to tell the full story, how many NBA players have come out of the UAAP? 0. So if you're going to talk about that, you also have to talk about the other side too. If you just want to play in the PBA, and that's your goal, and that you want to stay at home and do that, that's as high as level you want to play at, then fine. I don't question anybody's decision. I encourage whatever it is they want to do. I think they should go do it. But I also believe in dreaming big and fulfilling your potential. If somebody dreams of trying to make the NBA and they think they have a shot, by all means, go after it. Give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. And maybe he doesn't have to play, you could play well in this next year in the 17 and under and go straight to the NBA. There's a lot of things that could happen. But to make it sound like Filipinos can't make it in USA Division I basketball, you can't succeed in the United States in basketball, I think isn't telling the full story. I see Coach Chot's point. I know why he made that point, but I also wanted to tell the other side just to make it clear, so everyone can see the full spectrum of what's going on. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face right here. Don't forget to check out the important links in the description below, and for more Staying Major, click on the video over there. We'll see you next time.